Job market trends and industry demands. What is the importance of being aware of evolving and developing job markets? Can we expect to have the same job market that we had 10 years back? Maybe if you ask your siblings or your parents, they will probably say it's a big no. And when it comes to the skill sets again, just the same, back in time, the recruiters, they prioritized heavily, they relied on heavily the technical side of it, technical skills, whereas now they are looking into these soft skills along with digital literacy, adaptability, etc. So to hear about this concern, we have Mr. Sameera Abeysinghe, Chief Technology Officer at Orel IT. And let's hear from him about evolving job markets and skill sets in demand. Over to you, sir.
Hi everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So 8:11. It's like good evening, right? Yeah. So good evening, everyone. First of all, thank you for inviting me for the session. So now today, like the idea is to talk about the emerging job market, what are the current demands, what are they looking from internship and so on. So I'll start the presentation. So I have about I think about 20 slides. I'll very briefly go through our company, and then we'll get into to the session. So I'm from Orel IT. The Orel group is Orel group is about 100 years old. Orel IT is one of the sister companies which was started in 2010. The group mainly operates in three areas. Power, data, water, whereas power and water comes from our Orel Corporation, our sister company from the manufacturing side, and data is Orel IT's area. We have all these 9 segments that we work on: AI, software engineering, data center, cybersecurity, MSP, IoT, and cloud. And we are a ISO certified company. So very briefly, that's very little about the company. And so today's session, it's about the job market trends and the industry demands. So again, let me introduce myself before we go into the today's session. I'm Sameera Abeysinghe, Chief Technology Officer at Orel IT. I've been in the industry about more than 20 years now. Started off actually started off in a small startup, and from there onwards, worked in about 7-8 companies. Did from everything to internship, associate, medium level, senior, tech lead, and managing the departments and so on. Okay. So when it comes to today's topic, the trends that you see today in the job market. So, of course, AI now plays a big role, and almost all the areas, there can be some kind of AI integration happening. So whatever the job you do, whether IT job or non-IT job, understanding how this AI, artificial intelligence works will help. And when you check the trends on what are the main areas this job market is changing into, we have AI and automation, where many of the tasks that later done by humans, we see them getting automated now. And so what does that mean for someone who is coming into the industry will be how you gonna adapt yourself for these changes, for these automations that's happening. For example, if you take someone who is going into administration, uh, sometime back, any kind of report generation or something like that, you might need to just go through certain kind of data and make it yourself. But now it's not the case. There are systems, even simple free and open source systems, where you can simply input the data and you just tell, okay, I need this report created this way, and the report will be created. So what you have to understand is when this AI and automation comes in, uh, yes, for a certain extent or certain level, jobs will be replaced. But for me, for what I believe is about 90% of the time, it's not that the jobs will get replaced, that it's just that they will change how you perform your tasks. So if you are to understand and adapt, you will need to understand how AI systems work, how all of these available services works, and use them for your advantage and to perform better. Of course, uh, remote work came in when the entire world got hit with COVID. There are certain companies who still operate under remote work culture. Uh, at the same time, there are quite a number of growing companies who says remote work is bad and it doesn't give the correct productivity out. Uh, to be honest, I agree to that to a certain extent. But if you are really passionate about your work, and if you are really committed to that, I think where you work is actually doesn't matter. You can work, at home alone, in a remote company, or actually in an office. It doesn't matter. Uh, but there is a downside to remote work culture. That is, like nowadays, the especially if you take the IT industry, it changes a lot. You learn some kind of new technique today, and in about next week, someone else has come up with something entirely new. So in order to keep, it's somewhat hard to keep track of all of these new changes that is happening. So the benefit of working as a team or in office environment is you get to interact with more people, and have a few chats here and there. The main benefit would be to share the knowledge. Like you can always read a lot, check out all these news sites, forums, and learn new things. But still, in when you're in a group where you can discuss this stuff, it is much more interactive and it's much more interesting to talk, and you might get a lot out of it rather than working in a alone in a home environment. So yes, uh, remote work culture is growing, especially if you take Sri Lanka. There are many people who work from home for foreign companies. Uh, the free similar to freelancing, and so it is good. But personally, I think if you take a from the company perspective, remote work culture in many companies, it's not something they are sort of like pushing it, but many companies operate on this hybrid work culture where they might have 1 month or you need to come, or like 2 weeks you need to come to office, and another week you can work from home. Try to balance it out. So that should be the other point, working, hybrid and working, working from home, or working from a certain event, working from office. So the main thing you need to point out is the adaption, or this getting all of these AI tools into all the fields, all the jobs that is available. One way or another, it is coming. So what we need to understand is we have to find a way to adapt and sort of like go with the flow, and try to work it out. IT specific trends, of course, you have AI at the top, and the cybersecurity, cloud computing, DevOps, site reliability engineer, blockchain, and low code, no code. So if you take one by one, uh, especially if it's IT, regardless of, like, okay, few years back, there were different types of engineers. You had, AI engineers, software engineers, DevOps engineers, but now it's not the case. Certain countries moving into one single sort of like a designation as, specialized engineers or software engineers, where they are also expected to perform as an AI engineer or as a cloud engineer. There are certain companies, certain countries who practice that at the moment. So all of these different designation that has come in, sort of like merging together, especially if you take the software engineer and the AI engineer part, because they all of these, end of the day, now especially whatever the software that you develop, there are going to be some kind of AI component involved at a certain, at some level, even in a very small scale. There will be some kind of AI service or AI model gets involved. So the expectation of the industry is, you might be just a software engineer, but you should be able to handle AI integration also to a certain level. Uh, of course, the companies won't expect you to develop your own core models, but there are many models available. Like if you take the cloud providers, hyperscalers like Azure, AWS, there are specialized AI services available. So the companies would expect you all to use these services and develop your softwares around that. So even if you're a software engineer, you do need to understand all this, how these AI concepts use, and you do need to be able to use these available models and services, to incorporate in your services and run the, develop this application. Cybersecurity, of course, is a emerge very hot topic at the moment, and it's somewhat emerging, mainly because the adaptation of AI to cybersecurity is still somewhat uh, in a very small scale, I would say. If you take software engineering, there are applications you simply give out what you want and the application gets developed. But when you are doing these cybersecurity related, work or tasks, the adoption of AI is somewhat limited. Not that it's not there, it is there. But the thing is, the cost of running cybersecurity specialized AI model is very high. So that's why it has somewhat slowed out. And of course, if you take the Sri Lankan, IT industry, the demand for cybersecurity experts is also low compared to basic software engineers. And the next thing, the cloud computing. Cloud computing, of course, it's much more towards understanding how you can develop uh, application using the cloud environments. Like it's that cloud engineer, it's not someone who would actually develop the application, but someone who is sort of like creating the background and the architecture of that application inside a cloud environment. Of course, setting up the underlying back layer would be the job of DevOps engineers or the site reliability engineers. And then again, we have blockchain, which is still, I would say, incorporating blockchain to in Sri Lanka is very less. There are companies who do them, but it's not for our Sri Lankan market. Many in usually Europe or US side. But if you take, that is also area where there is a certain kind of demand. Of course, low code, no code, I'm sure you all aware in many of these, even this AI enabled software development applications, this can be also considered low code, no code platforms. So if you take the special areas that you need to focus on in the coming years would be AI, cybersecurity, cloud computing, of course, low code, no code platforms and blockchain implementations. So if you take the industry, not exactly IT industry, but other industry, what are they looking at the moment? I would say automation is key area. And if you take the manufacturing industry linked to automation, we have the smart manufacturing, where you bring in certain kind of sensors and AI models, where you can use these to optimize your manufacturing process. Now we had this robotic process automation some time back, and about last year, I think the term agentic process automation has come in, where you will use certain AI agents to do these automation. If you take the traditional RPA systems, you have certain kind of process, and they will try to automate that process. But if there is any kind of decision making step, you will always need a in many cases you will need a human to interact and intervene. But from last year, now introduction of this AI and the hype and everything, it has shifted where you incorporate RPA, robotic process automation, and AI models, where certain level of decision making can also be done by using AI automatically, and thus agentic process automation is there. I'm sure you'll have heard about agentic AI. So this is where this agentic AI also, the term has already come in, where AI will act as an agent and perform certain tasks. Now this agent can be from many areas depending on the AI model's specialization. If it's something like if you have an AI model specialized and trained on the legal system, the agent can be a legal agent. And if you are having a AI model trained on doing certain kind of drawings, of course, I guess it's a artistic agent, and so on. So these how to optimize, so increase the efficiency and the productivity of these manufacturing lines is something that the market is looking at. And of course, when you're looking at all of these increasing profitabilities and production and optimization, robotic comes into play. And like in many areas, there where you can incorporate robots to perform certain tasks. And it's not like you need robots only to work for 8 hours. There is no limitation like that. You can completely let them work 24/7 There is one I read about it in an article last week about a car manufacturing facility in China where it work. Yeah, I think it's a car manufacturing facility in China. You can just Google it and see where they work 24/7, 100% automated factory. Run by robots and AI and so on. So they are running the factory 24/7, and the certificate of benefits you get is you don't need any lights or anything to see. They are just using their sensors and specialized lighting conditions. You don't need that huge lights you need when you get humans involved. So it's there already, 100% automated. You know manufacturing plants. And of course, energy, how we gonna use this energy is a very growing concern. There's this debate about all of this hype in AI processing. So there the concern is when you are getting all of these high-end data centers, high-end systems to run all of these AI-enabled systems or AI models, how we are gonna supply the power needed for them. I'm sure you might have heard about this data center that uh, I think Microsoft built uh, underwater, under the sea, in order to use the lower temperature of the sea to cool as a cooling agent or a cooling tactic for their data centers. So rather than trying to go with any high-end ACs and all. Uh, so, and of course, I read about that China is also doing the same. So energy is also a huge trends because, how we are gonna supply all these required energy requirements to all of these system is also a concern that people are working on. And how we can use alternative, not the traditional fossil fuel, other energy types, not just solar, wind, wave power, uh, yeah, tidal waves, wind, and oceanic currents. All of these are being researched in generating more energy. Is also a growing trend. And linking all of this, I talked about how we can use sensors and robotics for in this manufacturing. And of course, when you're talking about all these sensors and robots performing tasks, IoT comes into play. Uh, so especially if you take any kind of industry where at least small uh, amount of manufacturing gets involved, robotics and IoT nowadays is playing a key role. Even if you are not on that industry, for example, let's say an IT company can use small IoT devices like some kind of movement motion sensors to track if there are people in the room, and if not, switch off the lights. So those are a little bit of trends that the industry, not the IT industry, but other industries are looking into. Okay, this I missed this. Yeah. Now, when we are talking about all these trends and how we are gonna position ourselves in getting into these IT industries. First of all, the first thing that you all need to do is understanding and creating a very strong foundation. Now, I talked about how AI will generating softwares. If you like use ChatGPT, you can simply get any code segments created, but still you will need to understand the basics, the basic concepts of programming. Then only you will be able to understand whatever the coding segments this AI system has generated. Uh, Especially like, you can get these AI systems. I'll use ChatGPT. You can use ChatGPT to get certain code segments generated and simply copy and paste. And but if you cannot 100% understand that code segment, you will face issues down the line in about 1 month or 2 months when you find a bug. You're not sure what this code does. So yes, you can use these AI systems for development, but you will and you should be able to understand 100% whatever that AI system generated. And if you are using these AI systems and taking them and building an application, and if you are a software engineer, you should 100% be able to develop whatever that application without using any AI systems. So the AI system is there. As I mentioned about talking about adoption, the AI systems are there to support you. You should not use them to as a tool to replace you. So you should take that support and use the AI systems wisely, and get the support from them and develop the application in many cases much more faster. I know that the Salesforce company has almost, uh, uh, not officially, but the CEO has announced, mentioned in a meeting where they are no longer hiring, especially intermediate or entry level software engineers. They are focusing on developing all of their future models using AI. So they are looking into have the senior people just validating the code that is created by AI systems, and they will not hire. And I know for a fact about three companies who has used uh, these AI enabled applications in order to develop their systems. Like if you take GitHub, there's these models in GitHub where they can generate code. So they have mentioned that their development time has come down 50% because of using these AI enabled code generation tools. So the point is, the foundation is the key. You really need to understand these key concepts. Of course, OOP, solid principle, data structures, all of these, you really need to understand them and learn them. And you will be able to leverage AI systems and develop the application. But of course, you have to have a very strong foundation. Otherwise, you might succeed in the short run, but in the long run, you will create issues for yourself. Now, when we talk about programming languages, of course, there's always this talk about, what are the most demanding programming languages these days. Like you can either search, just Google search or Stack Overflow and try to find out what is the most popular programming language. We have now JavaScript, Golang, Python, some of the popular ones. But the thing is, again, if you take few years back, Python was not there, especially with this AI only. Python has come for the top position. So the thing you need to understand is, yes, someone can come and tell you, okay, now the must-have programming language, the must-learn programming language is Python. But like in about 2 months or even maybe 1 month, it might change. So what you need to understand is, if you are a person who is in the IT industry, whether you are an intern or a beginner or a very senior position, you need to be able, you should, and you need to be up to date, search what is the most sort out programming language, what kind of new concepts that's coming, new one or every week also read about any new services that has put out from all these cloud providers, and so on, to make sure that you keep yourself up to date. Gaining practical experience, yes. So uh, this is actually important because I'm sure it's not I mean, it's a fact that now many companies are reluctant to get interns. So my personal view is, we all know that a few years back we had this large resource pool leaving the country. And if you look at the people or the number of people that actually left, those especially from the IT industry, they are the people who had about 5 years, from 5 years experience to 10, 12 years experience. The position, if you take designation wise, we are looking at intermediate, senior level, and tech lead levels. So they are the people who majority of the time who left the country. But the issue is in many companies facing now, the people who left were the people who used to run and train the interns, or if any company had internship programs, in most cases, this senior or tech lead level people are who are the one who came in and ran these internship programs, trained the juniors, work with the juniors, to that's how they learn the stuff and come to the next level. But now, since not all the companies, but many companies, because of this shortage of middle level knowledge, middle level expertise, uh, they are unable to run effective internship programs. Yes, they may be hiring, but it will not be the internship program that had about 3 or 4 years back, or even longer than that. Now, if that is the case, what can a entry level person do? So one thing would be, try to find certain experience by yourself. So what kind of things you can do is, you can try certain freelance applications, or try a little bit of part-time applications, or even if you're like at home, you can try to develop certain application by yourself. It doesn't has to be an actual application that you develop and give it to someone, but just an application you develop by yourself, just playing around. About 8 years, maybe 7 years back, when I first learned Python, I just created a small application using my web camera, uh, to I just to learn AI and Python. I just try to develop a facial recognition application just for the fun of it. So what you can do is try to develop things like that. I actually see certain kind of, not everyone, but there are people, people who are still in university programs, developing small scale application and publishing it. That is also, like sort of like creating an online profile, and by getting this practical experience, you will be able to perform better when you get a job, or even before getting a job, you can perform better at an interview. Because like for me, if I go to an interview and when I ask question, is if the only projects that person has done is about 4 or 5 projects that they did in the university program, and I'm comparing that person against someone who has done 3 or 4 more application in just in their free time, I would select the one who has much more experience, because they may not be industry grade applications, but they have tried out something. Uh, that means that they have dealt with more issues, more practical cases. They have dealt with more issues and found solutions for them. So I prefer that person over someone who has only theoretical knowledge. So gaining practical experience is very important. And saying that I didn't get into an internship, I didn't get into a company didn't hire me, so I don't have practical experience, will not be an excuse. Now, I was sent few sessions where we discuss about something around, I can't remember the exact number, about 10, 20, 20,000, or I can't remember. Must be 20,000. There are 20,000 IT jobs needed in the country, but only 50% is getting filled. Now, even though that's what the certain statistics say, if you actually look at the industry, there is a huge, vacuum where it's not getting filled. The reason is we can't find the expected skill level. So you will need to get these skills, find these skills on your own. And of course, the other point is if you try to find out how many students leave universities each year, you will see, I mean, even at this today's session, I'm seeing about 321 something around 320 participants. So if maybe tomorrow or Monday's holiday, so let's make it Wednesday. If all of 300 of you applied to same company, you all have to think, how would I stand out? I'm going to, how would I can make, of course, what our previous presenter mentioned, Shanika mentioned about how you could create your CV, and in that way you can stand out. At the same time, how would I stand out in terms of my technical knowledge? So, other things you can do is, if you are like, if you are planning to get an internship in your third or second year, try 1 or 2 interviews in your first year. Just apply to a company, go to the interview. Yes, you might fail, but at least you will be able to get an understanding about how they ask the questions, what kind of questions they ask. There's no harm in that. Don't be afraid to get rejected. For me, I remember I have gone to about close to about 30-40 interviews in my first 1 or 2 jobs. But that helped me to understand what they're asking. I mean, when I was there, we didn't have all of these internet to get all this knowledge, but that's not the case now. There are many places where you can get knowledge, channels. They give certain small courses. If you check YouTube, there are many people who try to teach you to how to sit for an interview, what kind of questions they're asking. So the level of knowledge available to today young crowd is very big. But when I try to sit into an interview, I don't see the new fresh graduates actually using this available knowledge and this availability of all of these resources. I personally don't see it. Anyway, so gaining practical experience is very important. And yes, uh, you do need I think there was a question in last session where I don't have any industry experience. Can I apply for an internship? Yes, because the term internship meaning you are getting to a job to get experience. Uh, so yes, you can, apply, but uh, even if you don't get into a job, what kind of experience or what you can get while at home or while at your degree programs. That's what I want to highlight. Do a few personal projects, try out new stuff. You can create your own online GitHub account and try out different projects and develop this online brand or presence is also important. And so from developing practical skills, we coming to developing other or soft skills. Uh, I see in not many cases nowadays it's not a big issue, but how you communicate, how you answer your questions, what where you look at when you're answering. All these things can play a key component in getting you hired. I'm sure you all know we have this ATS or applicant tracking systems where now they use AI systems to shortlist the CVs. And not only that, we have HR applications where the first level of interview also happens through a video call using an AI agent, where what will happen is you will be get interviewed by an AI agent. So what you can try out is if you have already passed your CV, that CV gets into a AI agent, and the AI agent decide based on your CV, okay, these are the questions I'm going to ask, and these questions will be asked, and the way you interact with that system, where you look at what is your facial expression, all of these will be taken into account. So how you communicate, not just by words, through your facial expressions is also, important. And when you're talking also teamwork, when you're, especially if you're an intern, talking about how you do or did your group projects, and trying to communicate uh, the level of adaptability and the teamwork that you can perform, how you work with your team. Let's say there's this project you did in the university and I'm asking about it. Okay, can you tell me about this IoT system you develop, rather than completely saying, yes, this application is IoT system, there's this sensor, there's this dashboard, this is what we did. You can first talk about what kind of, how you develop your team for that. It was a 4-member team. We first divided tasks between the teams, and each one did this is part. So the part I did is this. So how you can talk about how you had maybe, I don't know, weekly or monthly meetings that gives give an indication about your level of teamwork to your interviewer, which will help. They might think, oh, this guy seems to be a team worker. I think I want to try him out, like that. And of course, adaptability and continuous learning. How you can talk about how you face certain problems, and how you can how you found solutions for that. I have seen in many interviews, these candidates are reluctant to talk about their failures. But how you talk about your failures, how you fix them or overcome them, tells a lot about your character. So that uh, is an area that I would advise you to highlight. But of course, you have to be a little bit of careful. You don't need to highlight it a lot because you don't need to highlight your failures, but you can be smart about it. Pick one or two that you just say, I failed at this, but highlight how you fixed it, how you overcome that, how you move past that, and sort of like came on top. Of course, on leveraging online resources, as I mentioned, now it's not the environment you have, about 10 or 20 years back. You simply type few words in Google, you can find tutorials, courses, basically all the details, maybe not 100%, but 95 or 99% of the details you need, you can find it online. You just need to spend a little bit more time and get it them, look at them. If any programming language is not familiar, you can simply run one or two free courses. It's not expensive. Even if you are going to pay it, it's not expensive. Or there are much more free courses that you can try it out. Just go to Top Jobs maybe and see what kind of associate level jobs they have posted, what are the qualifications they are looking at. Do I have that qualification? If say, I don't know, if just ABC company is looking for a Java developer, do I know Java? Have I done a small application? Then try out small application, try out something. And if the job says Azure certification is added advantage, okay, go to Azure site, see what are the certifications available, what can I do? At least one or two entry-level certifications. So you can get these details by yourself. So my advice would be not wait until the time you need to apply for an internship to know about this. Start from your first month in your degree program. Uh, Building a personal brand, building your LinkedIn profile and project portfolios. I talk about if you're a software engineer, you can try out GitHub account, or if you're if you're into let's say UI, you can have your Behance or a Figma. So like that, depending on your areas you like to perform, you can create your online presence or an online portfolio. You can here and there, I see a lot of people are publishing about certification and projects on LinkedIn, so you can try out that. At the same time, you have to, when you're thinking about building your personal brand, you have to be, little bit careful of how you, about your personal life as well. You know, uh, I'm not saying companies look into that, but it wouldn't hurt to, be a little bit careful on that. What kind of posts you're sharing on maybe Facebook or any other platforms, because when a company is looking to hire you, they are trying to find out. Sometimes they try to find out, may go through your online portfolios. So from the, when from the time you started your secondary education, you will need to think about what should my online presence say, right? If you are trying to be a techie person, yes, you can post certain fun stuff, but be mindful of what you post, because especially if you take the digital ground to now, uh, they don't go away. Whatever you post, it's there. So you have to be mindful of how you perceive yourself in these digital spaces. So just want to mention that about when trying out this, creating or building this online presence. Preparing for a job interview. Yes, uh, of course, importance of mock interviews and feedback, job interview preparation. Now, we talked about earlier session. We talked about how you develop your CV. As Shalini has mentioned, all of these AI based CV sorting system come in. You will need to think, like she said, using certain skills, not as paragraphs or sentences in a point form or just short form, so that any of these AI system can pick up that specific text easily. So that is from the CV side. But once it gets selected, how you face the interview. You can try out few mock interviews. There are certain online applications available. You just submit a CV just for the sake of participating for an interview. You're not looking for a job. You're okay. If it's failed, just participate. You will get at least okay. The thing is, even if you fail, you can ask them, okay, can you give me a feedback about myself? They might give, they might not. It's okay. If they give a feedback, you can, if it's a positive feedback, good. If it's a negative feedback, then it's also fine. You try to get something out of it. Make sure the mistakes that you did in that interview, you don't do it on the second one. And of course, you have to think about what I mentioned. There are applications coming in where job interview will also is it's not will, it's happening now, where happens through AI agents, and you will need to, when you're talking, you have to be on a clear, well lighted environment, good internet connection, try out to talk in a not very fast pace, in a medium level pace, where that person, or if it's an AI agent that can understand what you're saying, and trying to look at the camera or the screen directly, rather than looking at up and down and here and everywhere. So these things will help. And one thing I actually have missed to show, I will tell now, which I try to advocate more. I maybe not now, but a few years back, I have seen, or even past that, many students who come into university programs, degree programs. If you take the IT industry, in the first few months, maybe not all, but many uh, doesn't or don't have a clue what they are going to be. I mean, if you take the IT industry, we talked about cybersecurity, AI, software development, DevOps. There's project managers, QA engineers, business analysts, and even in certain areas, certain specialized areas, blockchain or whatever. So I have seen in many cases where interns or fresh graduates coming in, they first apply for a maybe for a AI position, and at the same time they apply for a software engineering position. And again, if they didn't go for that, didn't get selected, they apply for a PM or a BA or maybe even QA. So I actually try to advocate in the first few months. I would say in the first 6 months, you should decide in what area you should go into. Because if you take a person as a QA, that person need to have a much more attention to details, like trying to find out small details, and the out of box thinking that is not exactly what software engineers should have. Because a QA is a person who's trying to you know have all these applications held up to a higher standard. So you can't be a QA if you are just testing a application on the happy path. You always should think, no, let's say there's a field that you need to enter mobile number. By default, if you're a software engineer, what you do is you prepare the form, you enter some digits on that to a certain format and press save. When it goes, application is working. And the QA engineer also comes, he might enter the digits, it's working, try out few formats, it's also working, and he send it across as that, that interface as pass. But what if the actual user enters few characters, A, B, C, D or something like that? Of course, they can argue who no one in their right mind would enter telephone number as a ABCD. No, that's not how a QA should think. He always should think, no, it can happen, so I should test it. So like that, his out of the box thinking is different, somewhat different from what a software engineer should think like that. And if you take a cybersecurity specialist, someone who's interested in cybersecurity, that's a whole new ball game where you will need to think of certain practices or tactics which has not been taught by someone else, not in all ways, but in certain cases. Because if you are a cybersecurity specialist, there's always the two major parts is the offensive and defensive cybersecurity. So if it's offensive cybersecurity, you are trying to hack into applications. If it's a defensive cybersecurity, you are trying to prevent people from getting in. So if you are an offensive cybersecurity specialist, you have all these application firewalls and everything have put in certain kind of frameworks where you can't go past. You have to think of a way to go past this, all of this. So you have to think differently, very differently. And if it's a defensive person, of course, it's the same. You have to think like that and think, okay, what if this person try A, B, X, Y path? Is it possible? Someone might say, no, Machan, it will never happen. It won't, they won't try it. You can't do it. No, but you should think like that and try it out if it's possible to hack in like that. So the reason I'm saying this is if you can decide the path you like to take in the first 6 months. Now, any IT degree is about 3 to 4 years. You have, so if you decided in the first 6 months what area you try to do, maybe you can pick about two, AI and software, cyber and cloud computing, DevOps and reliability engineers, blockchain and low code, like that. You maybe pick two or one. But if you pick that in the first 6 months, you have 1.5 years till your third year, maybe, or 1 year, maybe until your second year, to make the best person you can be in that selected area. So I have seen in many university programs, I hope that today there are at least few, I actually don't know what the composition of 300 people today. I hope there are fresh people in this, maybe few months in that program here, not third years. If you are, try to decide now where you want to go to and use the next 1 year or 1.5 years to build your portfolio, your expertise in that specialized area. That's how you can set yourself apart from the majority crowd. Anyway, even if you're in the third year or fourth year, you're not too late. There's always time. As I mentioned, of course, you can try out these paths and see where you can end up. So I think, that's basically this slides that I have, and I think time is also up. We talked about new trends in the industry: AI, cybersecurity, cloud computing, DevOps, blockchain, and what kind of areas that the non-IT industry is looking at: smart manufacturing, robotics, uh, IoT, and energy side. And when it comes to business or the management side, then there's a lot of emphasis on bringing up automation and incorporating AI into all the industries, not just IT, all the industries. And we talk about how you need to have your foundation, a very strong foundation to build on top of, as to not let AI replace you. You should understand and leverage AI to advance your self. And we talked about getting practical experience even before you get your first employment as an intern or as associate. Try to get some practical experience. And we talk about developing soft skills, the importance of teamwork, communication, adaptability. And we talked about how you could build a sort of like online brand or online presence, creating certain kind of, if you're a programmer, maybe GitHub; if you're a UI engineer, Figma profile page, like that. And we talk about how you could, face an interview. Your facial expressions matter, and how you should be able to tell a good story. How you learn certain things, how you apply these principles. In many cases, companies who is calling you a fresh graduate to an interview are much more interested in your character, your approach, than your capabilities. I mean, they know you have little industry experience. You only have higher majority. What you have is theoretical experience. So the companies who are calling you for an interview, they are much more interested in your soft skill, how your communication, how your teamwork, what kind of person you are, how is your character, how you face certain problems, what kind of solutions you came up with, how you have performed under pressure. So those kind of things are the more important for them, rather than your technical knowledge, because I mean they know you only have certain limited technical knowledge. Yeah. So that's it. Anyone who have questions? I see one hand up. Vidura. Hello. Uh, Yasisu, right?
So everyone, the chat box is open for you. If you have any concerns, you can put your concerns to the chat box right now.
Oh, there are a few questions there. I'm sorry, I missed it. Wait. But I'm not sure from where I should start. Wait. Should include modules covered in CV session. CV. Okay, thank you. Okay. Oral IT is hiring software engineering intern at the moment. What duration will interns be hired? Okay. Sadly, no, we are not hiring interns. Uh, the duration we used to hire them is for 6 months. Now we are not hiring interns, and sadly we don't have internship program. But from time to time we do get certain CVs, and sometimes we call them for interviews. Sometimes we don't. But unfortunately, to answer your question, the answer is no, and of course the duration is 6 months. Uh, okay, what internships are available for computer system engineering second year undergraduates? So this is actually linked to what I mentioned about what you want to do. Computer systems engineering second year undergraduates. So it should be now it should actually you are the one who should decide what kind of internship I should get into, what kind of company that I want to spend my internship time. It's not something that we can tell, okay, we have this internship for engineering second year undergraduates. I don't think personally I don't think we should say that. uh, if you are a computer system engineering second year undergraduate, you know the things you have learned, and you should decide, okay, I want to do in some kind of technical company, or I want to be a AI engineer, I want to be a data science engineer. So by deciding that, you should decide, okay, if that is the case, if I want to be a data science engineer, I should try to get a internship in a company where some kind of data science things happen. For example, let's say if you are a computer system engineer, and if there's an internship program at Animate, I mean, it's no point going there. Of course, you can go, but uh, I'm sure you will understand what I'm getting at. So it's you who should decide what kind of internship I'm going to look at, and what kind of company that I would like to go to. But of course, what you can do is you can decide. Again, I'll take the data science engineer as an example. You can decide I'm going to be a data science engineer. You can decide I'm going to go for a company who specialized in data science. But what you can do is nowadays, especially since you're looking for internship program, uh, yes, if you can go for a company specialized in data science, great, because almost all the projects they have is data science related. But what you can do is you can try to find not a company which is 100% data science company, but a IT company who have at least a small percentage of data science projects. So what you can do is, if you get a chance to go into that company, yes, take that chance. So once you are in the company, you will be able to interact. Maybe you get into a software internship, but there are certain data science engineers in that company. So what you can do is, in your free time, have a chat with them. You can get an idea what kind of projects the company is doing, and maybe in about 1 or 2 months, if you perform well, you might be able to convince your team leaders to maybe to switch you from software engineering for data science. So that's a chance you should take. If you can go, if you have selected a specialized area, and if you can go to an internship in that specialized area, yes, great. But always keep your options open. I'm not saying to change your decision, but always be ready to take up a different challenge. But that challenge, you should take it up with a clear path to your goal. I mean, you decide being on a data science engineer. Don't go and take uh, internship in a art company. Go to IT company where there's some kind of data science projects happening, even in small scale, where you can see some kind of link where you want to go. Uh, how have freelance how to have freelance. Even if I have freelance account, actually I don't know how to find a job and how to manage. Sir, could you please explain about? Okay. Uh, well, actually, I did freelance work 2003. Yeah, 2003. At that time, I didn't know any freelance website. We just, walked around, found few companies, got few applications done here and there. Uh, and there are freelance applications or websites available. Uh, what you can do is just search Google search a freelance site. There is a site called, I think, Freelancer, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Freelancer. So that's one of the freelance sites. It's just wait, put the uh, yeah. Oops. Anyway, you just go to Google and search freelancer, and you should be able to get a domain, freelancer.com. So that's a site where you can get registered and try out few projects. What you can do is just try it out something. You're just trying to get some experience. Even if you fail, it's fine. Maybe you can create a new email account and just try it out with that. If you fail one project, completely scrap that. Okay, use another name and create another account, because in the first maybe what first 2, 3 to 5 projects, your expectation is not to deliver the project, to get some experience out of it. But of course you should be a little bit careful, because these freelance sites, there's payment plans available. So in many cases the projects that you see in these freelance sites are legitimate ones. So if you are going to try out these sites for the first time, pick very small, very simple ones first. Don't try to pick big projects. Try to pick small, simple projects that you it will be also easy to complete them, and the risk for the other party who is giving you the project is also less, and risk for you is also less. What is generally expected from fresh university student during an internship at Orel? Okay. Sometime back, we actually had these internship programs where we asked them to develop a certain application, and we get our tech lead or senior people to monitor that, maybe or weekly or monthly, and sort of like just guide them, just advise them, okay, this you have done wrong, you can use this architecture is wrong, this path you have taken is wrong, you should have done like this. So basically, within the 6 months, we tell the interns to develop certain kind of project or complete certain level of steps, a certain number of tasks. And because these tech leads and senior people gets involved, uh, they will sort of like get an understanding of the technical background and how you work as a team, and you will get a chance to operate as a member of the team also. But now, whenever if we're actually not hiring interns, but if you get any new fresh graduates, they will be put into directly to a normal team. Of course, the level of performance might be a little less. And as a company, what we expect is, well, to be honest, the expectation is for you to perform at a very high level. But we do understand, given since you are sort of like new, you will need a certain level of help in getting the work done. But at the same time, we do expect even for the fresh one to try to perform on their own as much as possible. I mean, as I mentioned earlier also, now if you are, if you need to, if you're stuck somewhere in terms of technical issue, you can find in 95% or 99% of the time, you can find the answer online. Just Google, try it out, few code segments here and there. So it's very rare that you won't be able to perform certain tasks, even if you're a fresh graduate. So to answer your question, the expectation of a university student, uh, we expect you to perform your tasks as a software engineer, even though you are an intern. We understand you might not be able to come up with huge architectures and completely new models and like that, but You might be probably given a section where what you need to do, what is the input, what is the output is already been decided. So you just need to build that code segment to perform that task. Orel IT is hiring cloud and DevOps interns. Yes, cloud engineers and DevOps engineers, we are hiring. Very sorry to say, I'm not sure whether we will hire interns or whether we will give out internship in that area. But I know for a fact we are hiring cloud engineers and DevOps engineers. So as I mentioned, you can apply for that. Uh, just try to get certain points out of what we discussed today, how you develop your CV, how to get more practical knowledge, practical experience. And even though you are coming in as an intern, if you could perform at a higher level within about 3 or 6 months, uh, there is the chance that you might go into the next level even before you have completed your degree program. There are companies who give out higher grade designation and higher grade salaries simply because of the level of performance you can perform at. What are your thoughts about UI UX engineering? What are my thoughts? Okay. Well, the first thought is I'm very bad at designing stuff. Uh, so thoughts of UI UX engineering. Now, if you take UI, user interface engineering, I actually do a lot of UI engineering, but I use AI tool. I just that's just typing and give the AI generated interfaces done. But if you look at the UX, which is the user experience part, that is where AI models are still somewhat behind. And that is where the human interaction can perform well. How you developed application workflows, highlighting the user experience. Like, what kind of color combinations you should use. What is the size of the button you have to use. According to the size of the button, what ratio the font size should be. If the background if it's too dark or too light, what is the front end text color should be. If you take interface building, how would I make the best experience for the user in a mobile screen? How would I give the best experience for the user on a desktop PC screen? So I would say if you UI UX engineering, now there's a lot more emphasis for the human engineers to look at the user experience side rather than user interface, because for us actually in many of the proposals and stuff, before we go to the actual development, we simply use AI generated interfaces. But of course, when you're going for the actual development, we get UI engineers involved, and there are actually very advanced UI user interface generation AI tools available. So my thoughts will be, if you are looking to be a UI UX engineer, you have to be looking at much more towards the how to combine or develop these user journeys, user experience side, rather than focusing on the UI, because nowadays creating a UI is it's not that hard. Software engineer interns, what would be the difference between a company with a tech product or a company that does software development for? Okay. Software engineer interns, what would be the difference between a company with a tech product, company with the software development for other customers? Okay. The difference would be if you are at a company who do products. In many cases, you will be, if it's a very large product, yes, you will be exposed to many technologies, many areas. But if it's, I'm talking about if it's something like Salesforce or something like that, yes, that's a very large product. Many areas you might be involved in. You might get a chance to play around with many languages, technologies, databases, like that. But for me, if you are a fresh graduate, I would say try out a company uh, where they do software development. It goes like this. If you are in a company who do lot of software development for other customers, you might get a chance to experience a lot of new kind of things, because customer might come in different industries. They might ask different cloud environments to use. They might ask different technologies to use. It might be IoT. There might be AI involved. There might be certain kind of, maybe we talk about blockchain, or industry wise, it might be a health product. It might be manufacturing product. Uh, there's no limitation. So you might get a broader experience in that aspect. But at the same time, if you're a product company, this broader experience we talk about might might be less. But if you take the product companies in terms of, I would say, running at a hardcore process uh, it's higher in a product company, because like if it's a product, when will you release the next release, what will be the features, all of those are well decided and well documented, and they have a clear cut process that what is the steps they're going to use to implement that and release that. It is the case in a software development company who develops software for customers, but the difference is, even though in a software development company, it is also defined like that, based on the customer need, they might need to change and evolve and, a little bit of here, do certain changes here and there. So there's always certain deviations if you are working in a software development company for customers. So product companies, I would say there's a very hardcore, fixed processes involved. In a software development company, yes, there's might be process involved, but there's always some kind of deviations. What are the companies in Sri Lanka that hire cloud engineers?
Excuse me, sir.
Oh, yes,
Excuse me,
the
sir.
time.
Sorry to interrupt you. Yeah.
Okay, fine.
So
I'll
we'll make
ask.
sure they add their questions in the feedback form so that
Yes,
we can
yes.
forward them to you.
Okay, fine, fine. I'll ask this last one. What are the companies in Sri Lanka that hire cloud engineers? Okay, our company has cloud engineers. All the top companies hire cloud engineers. I'm not going to tell names, but our company, WSO2, Vajusa, there's a huge list. You can just search top jobs and find them out. So with that, I think it's already 9:30. I think I took a little bit of time. Sorry about that. So I'd like to say thank you very much for indulging me for this long. Hope I was able to give certain kind of knowledge to you all. And please, Yasi Saru, pass me the questions and I will try to give feedback to them. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so thank you so much for your visionary ideas, sharing with us about them. And I'm pretty sure our crowd was able to have an insightful impact on job market trends and industry demands in the current field. So thank you so much for that. And thank you so much for joining us.